again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we go to eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the yellow correct you. Use the youth, the money, waste a must a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but they got in a figure you. Take the script of money, God and say that is not you. One day the man above end up, him a got up. Too much eating at the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, the rap and they down in a whatever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start that people them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
Stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
The once pussy-grabbing president has suddenly, ironically, becomes the pussycat savior across America. The dilemma for you, the Americans, in the next less than 2 months is the choice between a pussycat eating vice president and a pussycat saving president. The failing empire of America. Time for you to curb your gun laws, America. We will get to that. But we have many more wrangles and tangles to go through this morning. Call Dr. Badmine before the podium this morning. We will also journey to St. Thomas and Portland, respectively, to look at situation unfolding in those neck of the woods that government has literally turned a blind eye to because they're busy on the other end of the island doing their whoopsie-daisy, you know what we won't say. Good morning and welcome to everyone. How do you do? To my community of parity, all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters and trolls. Good morning. Marcia Thomas, Debbie Jervis, TV, Deb, Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, Beaton Teach, Sunshine, Cousin Jamie, Sim Sim, Patricia Matthews, Natalia Freeman, Sharon Bernard, Bros, The Unstoppable One, Lilith Foster, Althea, Joan Bailey, Pauline Dixon, Darren Daly. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. Like and share the live, please. There are some things that we want clarity to this morning. But as per the propaganda warfare, with regards to the integrity Commission report. We want to know who is doing the leaking. Is it the puss that Kamala is eating, or is it one of those 4 that receives the report? Colin Richards, Abenasa Cody, Jacqueline Murray. What we want to know, who is leaking? Is it the puss that Kamala ate? Or is it one of the 4 rats of our parliament who would have received a copy individually of the report? We're going to go on a waddle this morning. But let us go to Portland first and look at how government and the Jamaica Labour Party has ignored priority in Portland.
Two students are doing orientation. We are at the Happy Grove High School. Today is the 11th day of September. There is silence. 1 or 2 students are doing orientation. The school is not yet open. Yeah? So some people were talk about interests. Eastern Portland now have no leadership. If we had leadership, this is one of the premier high schools. It's 2 premier high schools in Portland. Teachfield High School and this, the Happy Grove High School. Look what is going on. The work is just started. See that? The construction site, this. Let me tell you something. You are fake. Fake. Yeah? Me hear about fake chest and fake eyelash and fake sit-down pan. Let me tell you about the real bell. Every time you take up your phone and put in your ears, that is the work of a real, authentic bell. Uncle Alexander Bell. When you leave from Fairhill to Port Antonio to Buff Bay, over 200 people employed by a real, authentic bell. Know that you're a falsehood about Mr. Portland.
Tell Anvaz, because we know Anvaz deaf, because she not hear well. Tell Anvaz to turn up the hearing aid. We talk to her. Tell Anvaz, say, turn up the hearing aid because we can talk harder with throat burn out and she now go get the chance to read, will it? So tell Anvaz, turn up the hearing aid because we want to talk to you about Portland and the priority of Portland along with the annual looking Favor Williams. They call her, or what it is, the Minister of Education. Priority now in a Portland, in a East Portland schools. Our burial done, look after. The Prime Minister said how we recover good. But people don't go back to school. Come here, America. You hear what happened in Jamaica? Have you heard what happened in Jamaica, America? One of your guns, Shauna Smith, Georgia Dennis, one of your gun, America, we not blame you one, you know. But don't tell me say you don't have a blame in this America. One of your gun, America, has ended up in the school bag of one of our 7-year-old. We know, so we have feckless parents where government shouldn't tie off because them are danger to picnic. You don't care if somebody jump on me for that. There's certain people who don't have picnic because they're danger. But are you saying America? You don't have no share and part. We soldier them America. Where you send come pick up. Because we don't broadcast and propaganda and war. We don't go on broadcast. They body them. Yeah, that's how cold we is over here. So, because shoot when I go shoot people picking it too. So we are going to broadcast for nobody. That's the only time we're going to broadcast. But the soldier them. We could have lag us around the country and make sure with schools are ready for reopening. You and that gun-baiting, blood-sucking, trained to kill America. We're on a gun end up in our 7-year-old hand. Do you think you don't have a blame here? blood-sucking, bloodthirsty, engineering bloodbath America? Do you think we not gonna tolerate in a few school them galangin in our galangin in America? So if I send last night I was wondering, could this be another JLP stunt to divert us from the Prime Minister crookedness and crime, or something goes off it true? Because this is crisis, America. Your gun, your submachine gun, America. And you send people gone and Haiti. You take with soldier them. We school them can't open. Deaf ears and rapist murderer Darrell with one whole parish. The country take up give them. They're on the other end of the island with a grand upsideersy. Talifair on the other end of the island. You know the fluffery they're having down there. We won't even mention it. And children on the other end of the island, that they control a whole parish. School not open. St. Elizabeth, pick them. Some school not open. School were open 7-year-old. End up in there with America's submachine gun. Don't you think this is getting out of hand, America? Look at your schools and what the destruction, the genocide of guns upon your schools, America. We now go tolerate it at Jamaica. So the Dr. Badmind we study law and policy. We soon get to you know. We are going to take time. We're going to drive donkey car this morning. We now come high speed. We're going to drive donkey car because we want to tap yard by yard. Let's journey over to St. Thomas and look at other failures and neglect of the Jamaica Labour Party. We'll come with donkey cart this morning. We now come with high speed boat this morning because we now carry jugs and gun like you know. And the jugs are gone. We're coming with like no. So we're take with time. We're ride donkey cart this morning. Because if there's a perfect example why one should stay away from the bucket of mad post piss, you just have to listen to Elon Trump, Andrew Holness, and Donald Trump when they speak. Drop the bucket. Drop that bucket. Drinking mad post piss all day. Let's go over to St. Thomas.
So I am just coming from the regular monthly meeting at the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. This morning, myself and some others, as residents of St. Thomas, decided to go to the council meeting and hear about the issues affecting our parish. Now bear in mind, when I look at my birth certificate, I just don't see myself as a Jamaican. I see myself who was born at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Now can you believe that a Metro Police decided that she had a list of names and those who are not on that list should get up and come out? This is an indictment on us as a parish. You cannot have a general council meeting, and because you feel as though you don't want a certain set of people to be observers, you take it upon yourselves to ask these people to recuse themselves. We hadn't done anything illegal. We did something that was within the ambit of the law. We are entitled as residents of the parish to attend the regular meeting of the council and hear about those issues that are affecting us from the different agencies like RADA and SDC and National Water Commission, right? Now as the meeting progressed, because of course I was not going to give up my seat. I was Rosa Parks today. Because you see, Rosa sat so that so many people can stand today. So there should never be a time when we allow people to trample on our rights. So as the meeting progressed, the matter of the impending by-election for the Morant Bay division came up. Now, can you believe that the mayor of Morant Bay sat in that meeting and told the audience that he's not responsible for calling the election? No, that's not what I read in the law. I read in the law that in the event that a vacancy should arise in any division within a municipality, it is the chairperson of the council, chairperson aka mayor, who is responsible for calling that election. Now, the election should have been called after two instances took place. One, after a day within 3 months after the vacancy was entered in the minutes of the council. Now, this vacancy was entered from the 9th of May, which means that the election should have been held by the 9th of August. So them don't circumvent the constitution already, you know, and they're already outside of the stipulated time for the by-election to be held. The second instance would have been if two people who were eligible to vote at the time of the election wrote a letter to the council. Now that never do. So we have to stick with the first part, which is the day within 3 months. And that passed and gone from the 9th of August. Now for the mayor to be sitting there, indecisive, like Alice in Wonderland, pretending as though he doesn't care. He doesn't have a care in the world in terms of what is happening. And also, the mayor is supposed to be the acting councillor for the Morant Bay division. While we were at the meeting today, a delegation from Johnstown came. They wrote a letter to the council asking...
Hold on there. Hey, bird on. Lady, careful what you ask for. It better or not turn without a counselor. You never hear the dunce? And the dunce shiny looking man, isn't it? Dear Jesus, come see us, my God. Well, Labour Party took up and throw down upon Jamaica. That CIA created organization, created to work against the interests of social democracy and the people of Jamaica. Lady, careful what you wish for. It better not turn and start out on a problem for our own. I beg.
To attend. However, based on my understanding, they did not get a feedback from the council, and so they were not permitted to attend the meeting. The delegation came because they are having issues in their community, right? And this is the same thing right across the division. Across the Morant Bay division, it's the most populated division. People are seeking representation. The mayor, who is supposed to be the acting councillor, obviously him not act, nothing not go on. People are actually missing having a representative. And these people are sitting down at their own whims and fancy, pretending as though it is a non-issue, you know, because according to them, what happened to Trinityville and what happened to Seaford? Well, let me enlighten you, because I cannot believe that so many Jamaica Labour Party councillors sat there who are not au fait with the law, right? They're asking about Trinityville and Seaford because those councillors had passed some time ago. At the time of that occurrence, the election was passed due, and based on the same law, the Local Governance Act of 2016, once the due date of an election is within a year or the due date has passed, then no by-election can be held. So we're talking about two different things here. We are talking about apples and oranges. We are talking about a councillor who was elected on the 26th of February and unfortunately died on the 30th of April this same year. We are talking about a situation in which people are looking at a minimum 4-year term of living in limbo, not knowing where they are going. And this mayor is doing a disservice to the people of St. Thomas. The township of Morant Bay is in a mess. It wasn't like this the other day, but I'm not even here to talk about that, because I believe that the good book says it best. Where the leader lacks vision, the people perish, right? But I will not stop talking about the fact that the by-election must be called. As a nation, we cannot trample on our own democratic framework. We must uphold our constitution. The people of St. Thomas have been asking him. The people of Morant Bay Division has been asking him. So since you never knew it, Mr. Mayor, and since your party didn't advise you, and none of your colleagues are aware, let me enlighten your darkness. The by-election for the Morant Bay Division must be called by the chairman of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. And the last time I checked, that chairman is you. So Mr. Mayor, do the right thing. Do what is fair, do what is just, and do what is lawful. Even though the time frame within which you would have been able to do what is lawful has long passed, you still have an opportunity to redeem yourself. Call the election, man. Call the by-election.
The politics, the dirty politics, rather, of the Jamaica Labour Party. Them use crime, them use violence, intimidation, political tactics, gerrymandering by registering people into constituency which they don't live and in address which they don't live, like Matthew Samoda. The taking over of our electoral commission of Jamaica by the Prime Minister. But tell the Service Commission, so we said to tell them, sir, it's the public money who pay Paula and Claudette. And them can use data protection to circumvent. We're asking about Paula and Claudette. So what kind of data it a go give away? We not ask about Alice in Wonderland, you know. We're asking specifically Public Service Commission about the Director of Public Prosecution. We should only have one. We end up with two now, one and an acting one. So how data protection come into play here, so? When a Paula and Claudette salary we are talking about, we're not talking about Alice in Wonderland salary. So you don't have to go dig up Jane, Matty, Joy, Sue, and Jenny information to come give we. So how now go use data protection to circumvent we when a Paula we're talking about Paula and Claudette. How data protection get in here, so? If you release it, the public already are going to say if a Paula and Claudette we ask. If it's them date of birth and address or whatever you want to redact it. We're asking about their salary. How come you're going to use data protection to circumvent that? Data protection don't protect your salary. It protects who you are. A Paula we're talking about, a Claudette we're talking about, we, the public and the world, and everybody knows say them we're talking about. So how data protection get in a hit here, so? EM, how you do? How you do, EM? How data protection get in a hit? That part that me don't understand. Because it's not like we're asking for a bunch of director of prosecution salary arrangement. We're asking about Claudette or we're asking about Paula. It is simple. So you can't hide behind data protection when we're not asking about a person who people don't know who they are. We all know who the Director of Public Prosecution is. How then can their salary be shielded by data protection? I don't get it. It's not like we don't know who we're talking about or asking about. We know who we're asking about. Everybody knows who. So how data protection get in here, so? I don't understand that bit. You could shield them on data protection if we don't know who we're asking about. The information we're asking about not going to expose Claudette. We already know we're asking the information about Claudette. So how does data protection works here? Her salary is paid by the public. I hope you're aware of that. Why may I tell you the dunceness of those in power? The dunceness of those people who then can take pen and write and tell with bull crap and expect if we believe it, expect if we swallow it, and if we all got shop with it too. Oh, Jesus. Call the doctor. Come on, doctor. Come on. Dr. Badman, Dr. Salt, Dr. Water, Dr. In everything, Dr. Badman. Dr. Nigel had doctor, Dr. Tufton had doctor, so me want doctor too. Okay. Right. One of you, my people in America, my researchers and moderators, lots of you are there. I want you to research the Northeastern University of Boston. We want to know who they are, if they're a CIA organization. Because you got to understand how the CIA would prop up their operative. They give them grandstanding on all of the Bruno guitars. So when you see the grandstanding, you know it's a CIA employee. Never mind that. We want to have a conversation with the doctor, though. Because doctor, I hit on a given the doctoral key for, to flatter away with every. Flatter away with every. The question, though, Prime Minister, is this doctorologist that's been spurred upon us, is it a part of the detouring campaign, the sweep it under the carpet, nullifying the IC report campaign, Prime Minister? Which is it? We're going to explore, Prime Minister. You said you have studied a PhD. All right. Now, usually, a PhD, if you're doing it full time, it takes around 3 to 4 years. If you're doing your PhD part time, it could take you 6 to 7 years. Hey, hallelujah! First question for the Prime Minister. Your PhD, was it full-time or was it part-time? Because if you all don't know, a PhD is quite a study. When you're studying a PhD in a particular area, you have to read everything. Everything. Particularly if you do your PhD in law and policy, which is quite a broad area, law and policy. Next question, Prime Minister. Could you narrow down for us? Is it possible for you to narrow down for us any specificity within law and policy that you've studied? Because law and policy can be a broad old tool. Okay. keeping up with the propaganda. Keeping up with the propaganda. Kind of look like you want foreign government to employ you to. Hey, Jesus. It's getting sweeter. Right. Roll back. It's the first 3 lines we're concerned with here. PhD usually lasts 3 to 4 years if you're doing it full time. And if you're doing it part time, it lasts around 6 to 7 years. Because it's an extensive, in-depth read and writing, of course. You have to read every book, especially recent publications. You have to read every journal, every article, every news article. You have to keep up every policy paper, every new legislation, especially if you're doing law and policy, every new legislation within that area, every new policy. And boy, does America throw things like that out. So when you're doing a full-time, and I'm going to stick to the full-time here, Prime Minister, and you will understand why I stick to the full-time. When you're doing a full-time PhD, you are really buckled down because you cannot be behind on your reading. You have to get a grip of every dribble of drop of information that comes out on that area where you're studying. You have to read. You have to spend hours and days in library reading certain journal and articles of the past, which you have only find in a certain library. Or these days, you have the online study, you'll be given access to certain things online. Because the Prime Minister said he did his PhD online. So we know when you're doing a PhD, it's quite a work. It's quite a work. There's research complexity, and we will get to the research of the Prime Minister. The field of study, which he says is law and policy, dangarinas. And the next question, Prime Minister, how was your PhD funded? That's another question. But let's roll back, Dr. Badman. All right. The Prime Minister said he earned a Doctorate of Philosophy in Law and Policy. Is there a narrowing down of the specificity, Prime Minister? The Prime Minister pursued his studies at Northeastern University in Boston. Can you all help me with the research and Northeast University in Boston, please? Wanna help me, Lord, wanna help me. Me one can't read so much. Wanna pull and find and send. Me one can't do so much. Prime Minister, this is where it becomes interesting. What we want here, Prime Minister, is date specificity. Because you told Granny Sus that you started your studies online just after COVID hit. We're not bothering about the long life achievement, Prime Minister. A lot of us have had many of those. We want date specificity because we want to know if your PhD, Prime Minister, if it was completed full-time, and if it has met the 3-year or the 4-year deadline, Prime Minister. Lord Jesus. So we want date specificity. Now, Let's stop here a bit. Do you understand, people of Jamaica, that studying for a PhD and doing a full-time job is really hard work? Do you understand that doing a full-time job, just as a quote-unquote normal job, do you understand how strenuous it is after after the election or before it? I want a date specificity, beat and teach. I don't want a before or after. Because COVID hit Jamaica, what, March, April of 2020. So we want a date beyond that, Prime Minister. We want a specified date as to when you enrolled. Wanna help me with the research, no? It have to that Boston University somewhere that you can find something. We want the date when you were enrolled at Northeastern University at Boston, Prime Minister. We don't care about the first Jamaican Prime Minister to upstairs in either. We don't care about that. The fourth paragraph down is what we're concerned of with Prime Minister. You said you complete your thesis in the impact on U.S. gun law on violence in Jamaican society. Great person to study that, the Labour CIA. When will your thesis be published, Prime Minister? How you do, so we can get to read it. And we can get to run similarity checks on it, Prime Minister. We can put it to with dangareens, you know, because we want to know if it was written by AI, if you just copy and paste and reference. We want to know, Prime Minister. We want to know. So when you think it I got able to read, writing a thesis is writing a book, you know, my people. Your Prime Minister, which has claimed to be run your country in so much different brouhahas and hookums and disasters and all of that. Your Prime Minister still have the time within all of that to be studying a PhD that none of us knew about. Just like how much you resign and we never know. Your Prime Minister would have to study a full-time PhD, which takes a lot of time. If the Prime Minister is claiming that he started his studies after COVID, and the Prime Minister is telling us this week that he's been awarded his PhD and he's graduating next year, then we need some date specificity, because we want to add it up and see if we get no chump change off of it, Prime Minister. We want to add it up, because the propaganda warfare is just up. The propaganda warfare is just up. And who is leading the charge? I mean, the racist family group, isn't it? Who is leading the charge? The racist observer. Now, let's look at the conjugment of the observer. Make it up as you go along. We all know the Stewarts, them own Holy Power in Jamaica, and them own Holy Power the government. Them are one of the 21 families who run with country. Papa dead and honey over give Talk and Bruce. Now Talk and Bruce run Observer Mouthpiece. Talk and Bruce, you all know, is one of the administrator, is one of the ambassador in an Andrew Holness Bangament. Member, the criminal of Portland also hand over Holy Palan up there to Talk and Bruce. Them even also own the, what you call that place there again? The Blue Lagoon. Yes, the Talk and Bruce, them they're behind the Blue Lagoon. Them call themselves the stewards, you see. They call themselves the stewards, but we call them the Talk and Bruces. So the managing director for the Mouthpiece, the one in the middle, yeah, so. Then the China gal pan the Enyaso is the deputy managing director of the Mouthpiece, which is this morning's center of attention. The narrative war rager, the family interest and not the country's interests. The friends and family propaganda. Was this the same thing that says Dana Marie Go isn't good enough for Observer front page? Was this the same piece of thing? Because it was a Chinese piece of thing you rather said it, was it not? Was this the same piece of thing that said it? Was it this piece of thing that said Dana Marie Go wasn't good enough for their front paper because it was a Chinese piece of thing at the Observer? The government mouthpiece. The buy and sell Jamaica. But this little thing here is married to that little thing there. You see where the propaganda warfare is going. You see how they are fixed. Observer is fixed in the middle of the propaganda warfare. Because that married to this, that run this, that also is assisting this to commit crime to get into our legislature. Bear in mind that both on the ends are criminal, assisting criminal in the middle to get into our representative. Then that who is married to that of the criminal who wants to come into our representative, who are friends of the criminals on the end. You see how the mix up and the bangarang and the dangle will end up in other country where rather than newspaper inform and educate you, they manipulate and spike propaganda warfare against you for family-friendly and political interests. Juliet and our big Jess. So you see where the propaganda warfare is. The little girl here, I fight warfare, little man, against the nation. I them think the paper fair do. You see Jamaica, the whole Amasa picnic them and the indentured workers, them are join up against we, the African nation. We will can build everything for them and can't build nothing for ourselves. We will walk and turn the whole of them rich and we don't have nothing for ourselves. So you see where the war there. You see is a family war. We don't see why the observer is leading a war against the Integrity Commission. The observer is not doing investigation and fair reporting. They're not doing investigation and fair reporting. What they are doing is fighting a family propaganda warfare with a criminal bid to enter our legislature. Even though them did in there already, but which part them did then? Them don't get constituency money to spend. So them want come when they can't get constituency money to spend. Them want come when them can get figure out contract to them friends. And you know, all the meal eating that goes on in a few politics. Matthew more than in complicatedly looking family. Him and wife, husband, brother, sister, mother, daughter, foal, rat, post, dog. Same thing at graduation again. Rat, dog, post, mother, hog, cow, foal. Everybody just stirred up. Everybody just look like who them feel look like. Me not understand them. Anyway, never mind. But yeah, I saw the propaganda warfare go. A family war observer fight with Jamaica. Observer is a racist paper, Observer and Gleaner. They're a racist organization. And that them did create fine at Jamaica to spread propaganda to the Jamaican people and to make sure them keep them docile and in the I don't know. And it doesn't happen because we never see it in the paper. I saw them want to know to stay. So till they all mix up their mind and teeth in. When they not draw them picking in a crime, wife and husband in a crime, then just draw mama and one of them pooper in there. We don't even know which one of the pooper, but we can only assume which one of the pooper. So this way I distract with from Prime Minister. You could have degree, you could have dog flea, you could have dog lice Prime Minister who will buy wire brush gear. But we now let go off of the account them. We want to know where your mama and your pooper teeth found we. We're concerned about. So we want the report for open to see where you and your mama and your pooper teeth from we. So you could have come with all sorts of propaganda, oopsie daisy, narrative, and optics. Now work, yes, so. Now work. We not talk about what no one we talk about. We are talk about the account them. We are talk about the whole heap where you and your mama and one of your pooper teeth, Prime Minister. We are talk about how your teeth suffer big man. We are asked the question, Prime Minister, which man you know jag them mama in a crime is on go some like a barefoot careless, get up the iron zinc fence. Boy, Prime Minister. Man protective of them mama and them sweetheart wife and girlfriend and baby mother. Them not draw them in a crime with them. You is totally different though, Prime Minister. You drag everybody along with you. Because crime is a business for you, is it not? Crime is a business for you. Make it and release your paper. We want to know if an AI write it. We want to know if a Dr. Nigel and Dr. Tufton help you pay to help you write it, because especially when you do anything online, you can buy anything and submit anything and get a mark on anything. And where you come from, Andrew Holness, where you know about education. If you didn't know anything about education, you would thief so much out of our education budget and you would have mash up with education system partly. Because the PNP them guilty too. Damn thief, the whole honor. Bunch of criminals. All honor. Don't bother think you no safe in the PNP, because when I ready for honor, you could have a chastity belt. Where McDonald Trump nyam on the front like how Camilla and nyam cats both here. That me I tell you. So only know about that thing to say. Anything the labor them I get now, only now go get it when full no time come. Hmm? We probably even turn sharper. Because we know so the teeth for 18 year already. And them you want your teeth for 8 year. And only me get another teeth in hangle the next time. Be careful of the whole now. Hmm? We don't trust no now. No. We can sit down and lay it out frame by frame. Why we don't trust no now? No, the whole on what thief, murder, help, thief. Yeah, the whole on what thief. So nothing no no safe around here. Because the Chinese them get power in our country because our wicked thief in PJ and Porsche Tech get them. And Joanne never mash up this backside. Since Michael Manley and Siaga left, is a total destruction with PJ, Portia, Bruce, and Andrew. The all of them guilty. Bunch of wrong uns. The whole of them go come there for enrich yourself. The whole of them buy gun and give we pick them for turn pan one another. America, oh, your submachine gun get in a with 7-year-old bag. Enough is enough. America has a blame in this. Blood sucking, bloodthirsty, genocide engineering America. Enough of your guns. We fed up of it. Look at what your guns have done to us since late 1970s America, when your CIA engineering of crime in Jamaica to overthrow social democracy and a communism alignment. We are fed up of you, America. You have done nothing, America, but engineer poverty, destitution, and bloodbath and lack of development on this planet. Look at the infrastructure development since the Chinese have been in Jamaica, America. That shows that you have failed, America, brutally failed, because you have never sought to do the infrastructure develop, assist Jamaica, or make sure the thief them spend the money where you give them wise. Because you give them, but you only give them to tame them, you blood bath sucking America, because you want our land and our resources, and you want us to keep quiet in the hest of your hegemon, you blood sucking whore. Enough of your guns, America. Enough of your guns, America. Enough blood have been spilled, America. Enough tyranny have been instituted in your schools, America. The bloodbath on your street, America. The bloodbath across the world, America, with your guns. With your guns, America. Enough of your violence, America. Enough of your violence, America. That is what history will remember that failing empire for. The institution of bloodshed and poverty that America has instituted on this planet. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global Television. Drive Time London, I'm convinced, will be cancelled today because the sun is so brilliant outside. One really cannot miss that. And it's quite a busy weekend in London as well, because in my locality, you have tomorrow is the London the Maiden Voyage Festival comes to London tomorrow. So there'll be big fiasco in South London tomorrow. And then on Sunday in the same event as well, you have the Jazz Cafe Festival. So it's quite a bustling weekend in my locality. Given on Sunday also, it's the People's National Party Annual General Conference. Something to watch out for. So It will be a bustling weekend across the airwaves, and we will have our ear to the ground. And don't forget that whoever can help us to pull whatever we can pull from the Northeastern University of Boston, we want to do some study on them, if they're an authentic university or they're just one of the washed up ashore institution. Thank you and good morning from Global TV.